So I'll tell you another story. Esther had decided that she was going to close her San Diego apartment. She wasn't really enjoying it that much, and they had a fire drill, and she had to hike down 23 flights of stairs, and she blah, blah, blah. She thought it was unkind and unnecessary, and she thought, it's a sign, I should go. And so she was coming to the end of her lease, and so she decided that she was going to just pack that up. Now, Jerry and Esther had several places in San Diego, and so they'd move stuff from the bus to a house, and stuff from the house to another house, and stuff, and so Esther had a lot of stuff with her. And so she'd rented actually 2 apartments because she needed the big space to accommodate all the stuff that she'd been dragging around with her. And now she had hired her favorite truck driver. She called him, in her contact list, it said mover extraordinaire, because he was so good at moving stuff around her for her, but mostly in another state, not California. So she talked him into, even though he didn't do that anymore, into getting some trucks and coming from there to pack her up and take her back there. And that was the plan. So the day after Thanksgiving, Esther flew into San Diego with the intention of getting things ready, because in 3 days the trucks were going to come and pack, go, 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 go. It was all lined up, even though Esther really, really, really liked San Diego. But it seemed like the path of least resistance. And we'll tell you that from our perspective, she was doing it from the wrong end of the stick, in that she was wanting to avoid rather than what she was going to. But it seemed logical. Things that seem logical, it is your path of least resistance until something else shows up that is a better path of least resistance. You don't know what's your path of least resistance if you're not open to something more and something more and something more. In fact, we will say to you that your state of becoming is you're becoming less and less and less resistance. It's supposed to just get better and better and better and better for you. So when you're on your way to a decision that isn't the decision that your inner being knows is really your decision, because your inner being has been collecting all of the data of all of the things that you've been living for a long, long time, and your inner being knows what you want, your vortex knows what you want. When you are making a decision that's not in harmony with what you want, your inner being is still calling you toward what you want. And so Esther's there. She flew in. She flew directly to her friend's house. They were going for breakfast, and her friend said, you know, we were across the street from our new place yesterday, and that building has a condominium for sale. And so I made an appointment for you to see it. And Esther said, you are the devil and I hate you. She knows there's not a devil, but what she meant was, you're just going to contradict my plan. My plan is this. And then between the time that he told her that and the time of the appointment to see it, her driver extraordinary called her and said, Esther, I'm going to be delayed by 4 days. My trailer isn't ready to roll. And so Esther said, interesting. He says, is everything okay? And Esther said, I think so. She didn't know because she hadn't seen the place. Then she saw it and immediately knew. No questions about it. We're not going to move all the way over to another state. We're just going to move across town a little bit. So here's what Esther began concluding. And this is her new words that we want to give to all of you because they were so meaningful to Esther. We've been talking a long time. You've been listening to us about how the seed is in the ground and it's doing all of its germinating and becoming underground where you can't see it. You might be assuming from past experience, but you can't see it. You don't really know what's going on there. You're acting on faith. You're watering it. You're keeping the weeds away from it maybe, but you're not really giving it much attention until then one day it shows itself to you in some small fashion. In other words, there's a lot going on before you see or hear or smell or taste or touch anything. And Esther's been calling that the underground. What's going on underground where I cannot see it. And so what Esther realized when this unfolding happened, she saw it, she liked it, she bought it, she moved into it, boom, 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 in just a really short period of time. Even her daughter, who understands what we teach as well as anyone on the planet, said, you had that planned all along, didn't you? Because it doesn't seem possible that wonderful, 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 wonderful things can be working in the background for you and that you can be oblivious to them until you're not.